up
to
on
Two
one
Minute Hacks
channel.
Podcast with your host with the most, Tony and Lavelle, every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock That He. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hacks Podcast.
Top of the morning to you, my beautiful, beautiful people, man. Happy Monday. Y'all know we are broadcasting live from our well, not new, but but our Facebook page, so we can try to get everybody in one spot, and we ain't all over the place. So thank you guys for tuning in this beautiful Monday morning. I am broadcasting live, of course, from what is this place I'm at? Where I'm at?
Rica.
Costa Rica. I am broadcasting live from Costa Rica, man. This is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. This your host with the most, man. Tony Mays, Lavelle Salter. What it do, my guy?
What it do?
Man, good, man. We have had a beautiful time. When I tell you a beautiful time, it has been absolutely amazing. If you guys ever come to Costa Rica, I would just caution you to try to stay closer to the inner city, to the activities as possible, because we are like way out, and the route is kind of like all the way out here by itself, and it's surrounded by mountains and the beach behind us and mountains on both sides. So you just out here by yourself, and so to go to any, I would just caution you guys to stay, somewhere a little closer in the city. So let's jump on into this topic, man. One of the reasons,
I said, where you coming with this one is?
Well, I'm going to tell you. So while being here, I kind of witnessed some things. So we had a young lady with us who we were celebrating her 18th birthday. She was getting ready to turn 18. She turned 18 while we was here. So when she got here, she had to get a different kind of armband because she wasn't 18. So the legal drinking age here is 18. So she had to get an armband, a different color armband, because she wasn't. A matter of fact, these are the armband. They like a gold color, right? And hers was blue, and which means that she couldn't drink. She's a minor. She's considered a minor. And so I was like, man, the legal drinking age here is 18. And then we were walking around, and I was, kind of ear hustling. I heard somebody talking about, oh, I got this tattoo when I was 14, and I was like, damn, 14. And I was like, you get tattooed when you was 14? I was like, yeah, I nothing got this when I was 16. So I'm listening to everybody talking about all this underage stuff, right? And then so it kind of made me think about, like, Monica had actually sent this to me a while ago, and it made me kind of think about, people losing their virginity at we don't really want that for our children. And so it says statistics say most people lose their virginity between the ages of 11 and 15. How old were you? And why are you against your children being the same age that you were losing their virginity, basically? And so for me, I was well within that age range too when I lost my virginity. We used to play coming up. we were a little different than there. You know, you kind of came up in that same era as I came up, where we was outside all the time, and being outside all the time. You know, we played a lot of the, you know, catch a girl, kiss a girl, spin the bottle, you know, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And we was curious. We what the parents say, you start smelling yourself. Top of the morning to your markers. You know, your people start smelling themselves. And so, uh, how old were you, and why are you against? I guess because for me, I went on, and I had to talk with my children. Don't get it twisted. I had to talk with my kids early on because I knew they were at that age where I was when, you know, I was curious about girls' bodies, and, you know, vice versa. And so, uh, my conversation was, hey, you know, it was a little different with Tasia than with the boys, you know, but, you know, you know, I just didn't want them to. I wasn't trying to tell them not to. I was, but I was trying to, like, let them know, be smart about it, basically, because I wasn't smart. I just was acting off feelings and emotions and, you know, hormones, really. And
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't want them, you know, acting off hormones, but actually thinking about it and making a conscious decision whether they wanted to do it or not. And
Right.
so that's kind of how my conversation went. It was, you know, if you're gonna do it, make sure you're doing it because that's what you want to do, and not because somebody's trying to make you do it. You know, that kind of type of thing. You know, or you being pressured, you know, peer pressure that you're doing it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for me, you know, again, you know, being 13 years old, and really barely really understanding, I didn't even know my body. You know, I didn't know what my body was capable of, what it was doing. Just, you know, got a little erection, and felt like I needed to, you know, do what I needed to do. And
Mm-hmm.
the young lady was my age, so it was a lot of girls my age, like, doing it. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Right.
So, um, so I knew at some point, me having a kid, that they were going to eventually get curious and want to jump out there, maybe start looking, and, you know, experimenting, or whatever you want to call it. And so I just wanted them to, you know, be conscious, more conscious and more aware of what they were doing than I was, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of why I came up with it, because I looked at, things that were happening around me just this particular weekend, and from the age requirement, I was like, oh, that's pretty good, because we never really ever talk about, us losing our virginity at the ages and some people waited. Don't get me wrong, some people waited till they were 18, 19, 20, but it wasn't a whole lot of people back in my era waiting, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was different times too. We were living in a lot of different times, um, than what we are now. Because these kids don't even go outside. They don't go outside and play and do all those things. So, uh, what makes it different now, that people wouldn't want their kids to do it now, or try to protect them from doing it now?
Well, I mean, of course, I mean, anyone like it wasn't no STDs back then, but it's a little bit more rampant now. And then you got people who are playing on people's sympathy, so to speak, and taking advantage of people more. I believe it's more heightened, if you will. It's more, uh,
Mm,
you know what I'm saying? It's more. You're more aware, I guess, in a sense. You know.
right.
So,
I think they are. I think the children are. Um, I don't necessarily want to say more mature than we were, but I do think that they've been forced to grow up a little quicker than.
yeah, I would agree. I lost your volume. Can you hear me?
Huh?
Okay, you came back.
Yes, my phone was ringing. Yeah, so I don't necessarily think that they are more. mature than we were at this age now. But I do think they were forced to grow up a little quicker. Uh, we tend to put some grown up situations on these kids now, more so than we did. Because when we was coming up, the parents just tell you, you're gonna stay in the child's place.
Mhm.
You didn't hang around grown folk when they was talking and all in grown folk business. And now it's just the opposite. Hell, they
Yeah.
having conversations with the grown folk. Why the grown folk talk?
Hmm.
So it's a little different now.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah. The kids are more,
I know a
and
lot.
I think too the children are a lot more mature. I mean, like physical wise, like what I'm saying. I
Oh, you
ain't
know my
really.
body, yeah, the body, like, well, yeah, they body features are more developed. I ain't gonna say mature, they just more developed.
Yeah, that way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they more developed than we definitely more developed. Cause I know when I was coming up in school, you could count the number of girls that maybe had a real nice shape on one hand. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? One, two hands, you can count the girls that, cause everybody was straight up and down, little sticks, and, and but that's what it was. Then all of a sudden, you look now, and the kids in middle school, they looking like grown women. They in terms of their body, they're more developed than we were at that age, and so that's why I think it's hard for the younger boys and even the young girls to even really focus now in school because they so infatuated with what they seeing within each other. It's another big distraction for them, and I think
Hmm.
that comes chickens grow faster and stronger and all this other stuff that they put in all these things that they put into the food. And I think that it has affected our children in a way, body wise, developmental wise, where they just grow and their brains getting caught up with their bodies. Woo! The
Yeah.
brains ain't caught up with the body.
Yeah.
So, and I'm gonna throw you out here. So, when you lost your virginity, how old were you when you lost your virginity?
14. No, yeah, 14. 14, I
You said
think.
what?
13, 14, 15.
14.
Mm-hmm.
So again, when you look at the statistics of that, we was doing it. And so check this out. If we was doing it between the ages of 11 and 14, because we didn't really know what the hell we was doing anyway, just experiment playing. Like I said, we out there playing catch a girl, get a girl, catch a girl, kiss a girl, spin the ball, all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and we was doing it with the stick figure girls.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine how these kids are feeling now, and they
I,
develop more developed,
I always like the thicker girls.
huh?
I always
You
like
said
that.
what?
I was on a little thicker side.
Yeah, but I'm saying it wasn't a lot to choose from like that.
It was. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot to choose from like that. And
Yeah.
so, but now you looking at these kids and they way more developed, and they got breasts and all this stuff, and butt and all this hips, and the young men, it like so that they hormones are raging a lot earlier than what I would.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
And so this is another one of them hard conversations that I think parents don't want, people don't want to have because oh man, that's too much. I can't even talk to them about that right now because I don't want. But these are the hard conversations that we should be having,
True.
with our kids,
But I
And
think
I'm talking about
yeah,
you
I
said
think
what?
when we were growing up, I think the whole thing was, and I guess the conversation is still out there. I'm not sure. Uh, but I know, like when we was growing up, like the older guys, like man, you a punk, man, you ain't got none. If you had acne, then you supposed to, you had some acne in your face, a bump in your face. They called them, pee bumps and all this stuff. So you around here, you around here trying to just find anything to jump up and down. Huh?
Right.
Oh yeah.
But again, man, and it was doing it, man, because we had the hormone raised, and we really didn't know what the hell we was doing, but it was doing it. And to be honest with you, if you really want to call it losing your virginity, I wouldn't even necessarily call it that. 'Cause
Yeah,
we know
I would
that.
agree.
Cause by the time you really got it in, you already been bust. Look,
Oh wow.
if you didn't bust on her thigh before you got it.
Oh wow.
But these are conversations, bro, that we should be having with our children now more so than ever because, like I said, like you alluded to, they're just way more developed than we were, and we should be having these conversations. Oh, I had mine early. I had the conversation because I knew that, I realized that, and I was like, you know what? I talked to the boys first. I really did because they was young. I was like, look, blah blah blah. Your little thing gonna be getting hard. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. I told them about all that. And they go, oh, dad. I'm like, man, oh, nothing. It's, yeah, it happens, you know. And then, well, with Tasia, I tried to do it a little bit more civilized, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
where I took, um, I took her dad and daughter date, and I took her out to eat. I pulled a chair. I showed her how the young boy should be treating her. And then at the table while we was waiting on our food, that's when I had the hard conversation. Well, it really wasn't that hard for me, but I was
Mm-hmm.
really blunt and upfront. I didn't like sugarcoat it, and I just told them, that the little boys is all they want. And I said, and I'm not telling you, I'm gonna tell you, at some point in time, you're gonna get them emotions and feelings too, and you're gonna want to know what it's like. Cause people, your friends, gonna be talking about it. Everybody gonna be talking about what they did, and you're gonna want to experience it. But I'm telling you, don't be pressured by it. When you get ready, that's when you. I don't care how old it is, and you make sure you protect yourself. Make sure the young man has protection, or if he ain't got none, you take some to the table you know. And I said, just make sure you got it because you rather be safe than sorry. And I just
Yep.
told her, I said, shit, it's gonna come. It's gonna come a time your little hormone gonna raise. I said, I'm not telling you you have permission to do it. I'm just telling you that we ain't gonna always be around you 24/7 to stop you from doing something. So you
Right.
gotta have some self control.
Mm-hmm.
And with the self control, then you're able to really look at it and see how it's affecting you or whoever you
Mm-hmm.
know. Uh, so you definitely want to make sure that you're having these conversations. And again, this is what I consider one of them when we talked about last week having tough conversations with your mate. But this is having a tough conversation with your children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For a lot of people, this conversation is taboo or just really, really tough to have.
Yeah. And it ain't like it was in our music back in the day, but I think it's more prevalent now, more so than anything. It's all in the music. I mean, just about every artist is big artists now. That's the whole topic matter. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no I love you in it. Ain't no I want to hold you in it. None of it. It's bang, bang, bang. Period. So it's almost
Right,
like the type of pressure. You know what I'm saying? We had the Luke Skywalkers and the stuff like that, but it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. You know what I'm saying? Now it's all bits off.
right. Yep. And so how old was Lilibelle and Thea when you had the conversation, or if you even had the conversation?
Oh yeah, we had the conversation. Uh, they had to be about 10 or 11 or something like that, 12, somewhere around in that
Hmm.
area. Uh,
So did you do it with them together or individually, like separately?
both.
Oh, you did
Both
it
times I did
together. Okay.
individually one, and then I don't know, just them little random conversations come up with with your spouse or whatever,
Right.
and you
Right.
get to laughing and talking about certain stuff like that, and people be like,
Right.
"I want to talk about that."
Right.
So yeah, it was
But
one of those.
and that's how a lot of times they do. They come off like that because it's like it's weird for them talking to their parents about sex or them having sex. So
Right.
I definitely get what they're saying when they saying, "Oh, that's weird. I don't want to talk about that with you."
Hmm.
But I think it's necessary that you have those conversations. You know,
Yeah.
Monica says, back in the day, our parents were only worried about you getting pregnant as a teenager. Now it's all kinds of things that can happen. as we as parents should be talking to our children, or the TV and these entertainers will talk to them. Yep. Paulette said, "Good morning, good morning, Paulette." Uh, what did Paulette say? Uh, well, the children now is exposed to sex on TV, music, and regular conversation, so curiosity is more apt to happen at an early age. And the fact again, Paulette, that the fact that uh they're just way more developed, so they're gonna be them hormones gonna be raised anyway. Yeah, we see it on TV because and that's another thing too, Lavelle. Like when we talk about it, back in our day, they weren't really showing sex on TV. Hell, they barely kissed on TV. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Or that's about the only thing they would do is do a little pet. And then they got to the point where HBO and Cinemax, really Cinemax After Dark and all that stuff came on where you started really seeing like the sexy scenes and the sex scenes and stuff. But
Inflicts.
now yeah, but now regular TV has all of this stuff on. They have the uh same sex relations going on TV and all this stuff. So you're seeing any and everything through social media, through TV, through media. So and I'm talking about little kids are being exposed to this. The ones that not even ain't even going through the puberty stages yet are seeing this stuff. There's a certain level of curiosity even there,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
know. So there's a lot, man, like that can be out there that these children can be exposed to. So we definitely, man, as parents, we definitely have to have these conversations as early as possible. And if you're not having those conversations with your children or grandchildren, because you might be one of those grandparents and raising your grandchildren, and that may be even more difficult to have a conversation because you got maybe an old school mentality, but times are just different now,
That's why it's so
and,
prevalent.
and
Like the statement you always make. That's why it's always prevalent to be present, because I believe
right,
that when you're present, the conversation is taken more better. I think like with us, when we had those conversations, because we were present, it was easier to
right,
have the conversation. And I think with some
right,
of these individuals, it being sometimes the age difference and all those type of things, and they just as wild out here doing the thing. I think sometimes the conversation gets missed or not talked about because you there, but you're not present. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
the
right,
conversation isn't being
hmm
had. So
right. And you can, man. It can definitely happen where you can be there and simply be not present because we're so caught up, bro. Like it's really weird now because we got more shit than we had back in the day. We got more, we exposed more shit, and like these creature comforts now, bro. Everybody's out here chasing these creature comforts to the point we're not paying to what's on with these children. We be able to chase them bad, so we get the low video went out from.
hmm
Can you hear it, Bray? I'm still. Okay, there we go. We back. I don't know what happened. I guess probably here. Just mad probably just went out.
yeah,
I don't know.
you
But
going in
yeah,
and out.
so we don't have the same, and the mentality is different, bro.
hmm
The mentality is way different now than it was when we were coming up.
Yeah.
These kids now actually think they grown when they hit teenage, when they hit that 12, 13, they think they grown already.
hmm
And in a lot of senses, the way they're left to care for themselves and fend for themselves, most of them could, and they'll tell you, I've been taking care of myself since I was 12 and taking care of my little brothers and little sisters and whoever since I was young.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? So when you start to think about that and think about how they had to take care, themselves or fend for themselves. Now I can kind of see why they say I'm wrong
Yeah.
because the parents are running off doing this, and this is like this. Like even when we travel, and when we travel, when the children was young, we never traveled without the children.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do let's do our getaway and do the kids. No, we travel with our kids because we want our kids to experience what we was experiencing. Not that
Right.
they would lack in any area because we was out living our best life and they at the house trying to fend for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And you got more of that today than people taking their kids with them because I'm leaving the kids. We going to get away and do my own thing. I'm going on the girls trip. I'm going on the guys trip. Ooh, a
Yeah.
whole palm leaf. You see that whole palm leaf? Oh, he
Oh,
cut them
what
down.
was it?
He cut them down.
No.
Yeah, he in the tree.
Damn.
Yeah, he up in the tree cutting them
So loud too, boy.
down. Yeah, he cutting them down. So I guess they do that to maintain them.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look across the property, all of them are kind of topped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do that. Dude, we was down at the pool yesterday, and big ass iguana lizard, dang, about 3 feet. Bro, I was like, it was behind the bar. And they had the girl was behind the bar went to screaming, and the dude picked it up and grabbed by its mouth and by the tail and went and release it out on the lawn. We just saying raccoons big as humans.
Wow. But they just let them roam free over there though. They don't.
Oh
They
yeah, monkeys just jump out the tree. They doing their own thing. The raccoons is walking around the property like they own it.
wow.
Yeah, I'm on big jumps, big raccoons.
Right.
Yeah, they walking around this junk like they own it. So I ain't messing with them because they big. They stand on their hind legs. They're more big as you.
Yeah. No.
What up, Azon? Yeah, what up with you? All that says, even the way they are dressing, they damn near naked, both male and female. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, both male and female.
This, this is a segue. We're gonna take a identification. I can't talk. Identification calls for the pause. Pause for the cause. Make sure that if you guys are watching on the live today, that we need you all to share our fan page. Just simply go up to the side over there on your phone, or either on your computer, whatever you're watching. Make sure you share the fan page so we can get as many people that like our fan page or follow now. Have which way they do it because you can like our follow. So please do so because this is how we'll be going live from now on the fan page and on YouTube. YouTube, you don't
Right.
even log in and then it's already up on the screen. So
Yeah, yeah. And for those of you who even haven't subscribed to our YouTube page, go in and subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Make sure you subscribe. Um, yeah, just make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page. That way, you got multiple ways of connecting with us because we're not broadcasting anymore on our personal pages like we have in the past. So we only broadcasting through the fan page and through our YouTube channel. So, and that's why we want all you guys to be able to connect at least in the same spot and see the comments and be able to connect in the same spot as opposed to having eight social media platforms open and we just scattered out everywhere. So make sure you guys are sharing this because we want to all be try to be at least in one of those two locations, YouTube or our fan page.
yeah,
Yeah. What time is it, man? It's time to clock that T. Come on, let's clock that T.
yes, sir.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what time it is. Put them phones down, fingers up. It's time to collect that tea with your girl, Queen Watkins. I hope y'all had a good morning. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to collect that tea. Have y'all seen the story of the college girl that was working at Hollister? Yeah, she done got to stealing from her job and went viral. And the comments is on her side. Yeah, let's talk about it. So there's a 21-year-old young lady. She was working at Hollister, and y'all, she didn't figure out how to steal some stuff out the store. So what she did was she took a water bottle. How did this even work? I don't even know, because water bottles are clear. Maybe she had just, one of those stainless steel Stanley water. I don't know. Anyway, she was stuffing clothes in the water bottle, right? And then she would go put clothes on underneath her clothes that she already had on and steal that way. So, boom, somebody anonymously said, hey, old girl stealing from her job. So she ended up getting caught. The police said that she had 55 items worth $1,500.
Damn.
So this 21-year-old college student was charged, y'all, for stealing from her job. She was charged with felony grand theft and bribe at 21 years old. Girl, I know damn well them clothes in Hollister was not worth it. Don't they give you like a discount? I don't think I've ever worked in like a clothing store. Don't they give you some type of discount anyway?
Now when you
I don't
are
know.
stealing,
Let's continue. So when
the rich
she
folk
went
like,
viral, y'all, the people in the comments didn't understand why she got in trouble because they said such a big corporation, like it shouldn't matter that you stealing from them, right? Because they're such a big corporation. What you mean it shouldn't matter? Just, okay. So some of the comments, majority of the comments were saying how they used to steal from their jobs. And one guy was like, he met a Puerto Rican man and he taught him how to steal, baby, and he still used the stuff to this day because they sold so much shit together. That's insane. And then another person just threw themselves under, like you threw yourself under the bus to tell us exactly how you were stealing from your job. And he said, when customers, he'll get an item, put it up in a bag where, they cash out in Walmart. And when the customer leaves, they'll run after them at Walmart and say, hey, you left your bag. But instead of giving it to the customer, they put it in their car. So the items that they would like, they put a few in a bag, y'all, and then whoever their victim is for that day, they be walking out of Walmart and they'll make it seem like the customer left a bag and they never did. And in the comments, majority of the people are like, you shouldn't charge her. It shouldn't be that serious. Stealing is stealing. You aren't supposed to steal from no damn body. You already working. Use a few of them coins to get it. I get it. I get it. It's hard out here. Stuff is getting worse. I get it. But damn, come on now. To steal that much stuff, it ain't like you needed it. This is some stuff that you just wanted, that you was trying to make some money off of. $1,500 worth? Nah, baby. Stop stealing from these jobs, y'all, because when they fire y'all, then y'all mad. Want to act a fool. Want to turn it, for what? For some shit you did? All right, y'all, that's all the tea that I have today. Make sure y'all tune in to 2 Men in Heads, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. sharp. And don't forget to stay tuned for your girl, Queen Watkins. Like that tea. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
Right.
but
That's
see,
crazy, bro.
but what's so crazy? Like, see, like in other countries, okay. Case in point, like the place that we're gonna be at Thursday, the restaurant doesn't pay their waiters and waitresses waiter and waitress fees. They make like an hourly salary. Like I think they make $10 to $12 an hour plus tips. So I'm saying in the
Hmm.
state times with these retail stores and stuff like that, if you paid your compensation employees correctly, you wouldn't have a lot of stealing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they and some folks just steal to steal. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I think if the compensation was correct, you wouldn't be no reason to steal. I'm not saying what the little lady did was wrong. I mean, right, rather, but at the same time, I mean, that's how you make up for the difference.
No, and I get it, I get it. But you signed up for that job. You knew what the job paid. You knew that.
Right. It's true.
You signed up for that. When back in the day when I was in high school and I was working for Gusina Shoes, I knew Gusina Shoes only paid $3.35 an hour. I took the job. I knew that they cutting all the palm trees things off. They cutting all them songs off. I knew that the job only paid $3.35 an hour. I still took the job. But while I was there, I decided people was like, "Oh, you working the shoe? Give me some shoes." And I would if you didn't have a size, you was a 9 or smaller, you was in there. But if you was anything bigger than a 9, I wasn't gonna do that because I could get the smaller your feet, the more shoes I could get in my football jacket sleeves.
Uh,
So yeah, was it wrong? Hell yeah, it was wrong.
mm-hmm.
It was wrong. And if I had out, I would have had to suffer the consequences for
Yeah.
doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So, she got caught. And
And
so
she,
she got to suffer the consequences for
mm-hmm.
getting caught.
Yep.
Yeah. So y'all like, let me reiterate this again on this platform. This is the platform going forward. We'll be streaming on our YouTube channel. If you try to go to our personal pages, all you're gonna see is where we can share the video. That's it. Yeah, there you go. You're gonna only see where we can share the video, not where we're actually going live on. So you gotta tune in to our fan page, be a part of our fan page, make sure you share it, and also make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so you have multiple ways of still, a couple of ways of getting on and checking us out with those two pages. This coming Thursday, we're gonna keep making this announcement. This coming Thursday, make sure you show up at the what's the name of the video?
Ghost River. I'm gonna make another pilot when I get off with
Yeah,
this with the
yeah,
same with
there you
this one.
go. The Ghost River Brewery. Make sure you show up, y'all. If you have donated or if you want to show up that night and donate, show up, man. We're gonna do the presentation. And so make sure you come and show up that night, man. It Ghost River Thursday at 7 o'clock. Try to be there. Try to be there at least by 7 o'clock.
I'm gonna put the
Uh,
address in the chat right quick.
or either put your little flyer up. Your flyer had the address and everything that you sent me.
Oh yeah. I can do that. Do I have
Yep.
it? Do I have to go and download it? I be working between the computer.
Yeah. So back when he doing that, back to our original question that we had about when should you have or if you are even having that conversation or that talk with your children about having sex. When did you lose your virginity? And a lot of people want to admit, especially women. I don't think a lot of women will admit that they lost their virginity at an early age. But come on, y'all, be honest. I hope us as men, we were not here sleeping with ourselves. We were sleeping with some women, and so I think a lot of times if we would be open and transparent about what happened when we were younger, we could say, and then we could tell the kids, "Oh, I lost my virginity at this, and it was not a pleasant thing. It was not a good thing, or if some kind of bad experience." I was watching a movie the other day. Um, I'm trying to think of what the name of the movie was, but the little girl was I think it was called Forever, or was
Mm-hmm.
that a series? It was a series. Yeah, it was a little series. I think it was a series called Forever that's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And Um, yeah, it was a series, and the little girl, you know, was with this star basketball player, and she had was at the school with him. I guess she had gave him fellatio, and he video or she videoed it, whoever videoed it, and the guy ended up sending the video to this white guy, and the video went viral. And the girl was so stressed out about it, she didn't want her mom to find out about it. She started struggling with depression and stuff. So her mama moved her to another school because she thought it was just the pressure of being around some of those other kids, and moved her to a whole other school where she had to pay for. The girl had a full scholarship there because she was smart, but she had to go to another high school where her mom had to pay the tuition, struggling paying the tuition, just because she wasn't open with her mom and transparent with her mom that she had done some stuff. Because her mom never had to talk. All her mom was just telling her was, "I don't want you getting pregnant," because her mom got pregnant with her at an early age. So all her mom was telling her is, "I don't want you getting pregnant. I don't want you getting pregnant." She never just had a conversation about it and being open and transparent about what she experienced, and that probably would have saved her daughter some heartache and pain. And so we have to be open and transparent with our children about stuff that we've experienced. Oh, we lost our virginity early. It wasn't a pleasant experience. It wasn't this, and it was meaningless, and it was this. And then that way they can say, you know what, I wanted it to mean something, especially with our little girls. You want it to mean something. You should want it to mean something when it's your first time or you getting ready to lay down with a guy. You should want it to mean something, to be special. It should just be with every nigga, or just cause he got your heart right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cause soon as he get it, your heart gonna be broken. Cause he gonna be on his way in a lot of cases.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I tried to tell my daughters. Like, you may be totally in love with this guy. He may tell you he in love with you just to get it. But as soon as he get it, he didn't get what he was out for in the first place. So guess what he's gonna do now? He going on to the next girl. But if you make it hard for him, you put up he tell you, oh, why you playing so hard? And you tell him, I want it to be special. I don't want to just do it just because we can do it. I want it to be special.
Right.
Let's see. Monica said, on behalf of the children, I also think sometimes us as parents forget that the things we did as teenagers and can be very judgmental and hypocritical when it comes to our children and the hard conversations we should have. Don't brag about it, but be real with them. Exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. Be open and transparent. Yeah, you be open and transparent about what you experienced. That you're going to be more apt to share, because you don't want them to experience whatever it was that you experienced, you know. And so we think about just not sharing with them and not talking with them, period, is the best way. Because you think, well, we don't talk about it, out of sight, out of mind. But no, you're not talking about it, but their friends are talking about it. The TV is talking about it. Social media is talking about it. Everybody else is talking about it, but you ain't talking about it because you don't want to have that hard conversation.
Yeah.
So that's just one of those tough conversations, bro, that we got to have with our children, and it's not always easy. I ain't gonna sit there and tell y'all that it's easy. That you can sit down and have, because you got to find the right words. And I think if you lead and be honest and transparent about maybe what you've experienced as a young person and that you did and how you felt, I think that they could appreciate it, or at least, maybe, respect it more and say, you know what, especially the young ladies. Man, I think with the young men, you have to talk to them too, because you got to tell them, hey, don't be out here trying to pressure these young women, telling them this, da 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 da, and don't be listening to your homeboy telling you weak because you ain't got it yet. Because we hard on the young boys too. Your homeboy telling you ain't got none yet. You've been with Saz, Sharon, 6 months, and you ain't got it yet. 3 months, you ain't got it yet. So now he putting pressure on Sharon to get it. Because his homeboy is in his ear.
Yeah.
and it don't mean nothing. So that's why it's important that you tell these little girls, like, look, it should your first time should be a beautiful experience. It shouldn't be one of them doing with a joker. He just gonna jump up and down, pounce up and down on you, and call himself trying to beat it up and ain't doing shit. And then you left with a horrible experience saying that wasn't what I thought it was gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Or be like me, your very first time and skeet it all on the girl leg thigh because you ain't even got it in.
You stupid.
I'm just telling you, we don't know what the hell we doing here. But we didn't have the examples because our parents definitely wasn't having them conversations with us, bro. It was just your ass better not be out here doing them beat your butt.
Damn.
It wasn't it wasn't them conversations. And
Right.
it wasn't until we started really paying attention later on when we was growing up and we said, you know what? Mr. Johnny, we used to be going over Miss Sally Sue house all the time when Mr. Sally Sue wasn't there. We started realizing that as we look back, boy, it was some stuff going on when we were young that we weren't paying attention to then, that we started thinking about when we got older and said, man, but see, they wasn't transparent with us. They weren't telling us that until you get around some old person that they're telling you all the business. Oh yeah, you know he was sleeping with her. You know that man even her children, his children. That man children know that. They tell you all of it.
Right.
That's why I like talking to elderly people because boy, they tell you all the business. If they sit out on the if you find you an elderly person that always sit out on the porch and always looking, they know everything.
Mm-hmm.
They know everything. Find you one that like to sit out on the porch and look around the neighborhood because they can tell you everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. They got the arguing the other day, and I heard him. He's talking about how she was out there cheating.
Right.
Yeah, so I love me some elderly people, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
do. I do, I do, I do. Whew, okay. So I know y'all don't want to share. Some of you people don't want to share about when you had your first experience. Uh, but I didn't share mine. The bear to share. He was 14, and a lot of us are between the ages of 11 and 15. We are. When we go out here and so think about now. You got children that's between that age, and you never had a conversation with them about sex.
Mm-hmm.
If you got children between the ages of 11 and 15, and you never had a conversation with them about sex, period, your ass in trouble. I'm gonna tell you. You probably want to have them when they 9, 10 now, cause it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I saw a little girl that was pregnant at 11.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was a little girl in Monica's mama neighborhood. By the time she was 15, had like 3 children.
Hey,
Hmm. And I don't know how many she got now, but by the time she was about 15, she had about 3 kids.
ain't no way, bro.
Yeah, just dropping them off like fly, baby having babies, bro.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So that's where we are. So I ain't gonna hop on it, but I do want us to make sure that we are being conscious about those conversations that we're having with our children because it's very essential. It's important that we have these conversations and be transparent about yourself, about your relationship, what when you do it, especially as a woman. If you could talk to your female daughter and say, "Look, baby, I understand I'm hormones are raised, and if you say, baby, look, I did it when I was 14. It was the worst experience I ever had. I wish I would have waited because the guy soon he had told me he loved me with my little boyfriend. If you're honest about y'all experience, then maybe they'll be like, oh, this is the same stuff he telling me. This
Right.
this is what little Johnny telling me. The same stuff, mama, that your boyfriend was telling you. But we too scared. We don't want the kids to know that we was being fast at 14, 13. We don't want them to know we were being fast, but be open and transparent and say you weren't proud about it. You just have to tell them, bro. It's not that you bragging. You letting them know like I wasn't proud. I did it. I was pressuring into doing it. I liked the little boy. He told me he loved me, and I thought we was gonna be together forever. You know. And no, after he got it, he went on trying to get it from the next girl. So be as transparent as you can. I mean, we always say with this podcast that we want people to become the better versions of themselves. And I think in order to be the better version of yourself, man, at some point in time in your life, you're gonna have to have some tough conversations, some hard conversations, and you're gonna have to be transparent, open and transparent about some of the things that have happened in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be open and transparent. Even now, and I know sometimes it can be different because you do have a lot of children at a young age that have been taken advantage of by older people or sexually molested or whatever, and so those things may be difficult to talk about. But think about that too. It may be difficult to talk about, but you may save your daughter or your son from being sexually molested by somebody who they trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know that's probably an even harder conversation to have than just being transparent about you just had sex when you was 14 or 13 or whatever age it was. Just having a conversation about you being sexually, abused as a young kid, and because you trusted somebody and they, they showed you who they really was. And so, and I think those are the people that really be out here trying to protect their kids from any and everybody. Like they be trying to shield and protect them, don't want you to go nowhere, do nowhere. But when you do that to a child, you make them, you kind of force their hand and force them out there. Hey, you got me caged up and blah, blah, blah. And I want to get out. So you definitely have to be super careful about that. Rodney said, me and the girl was 9 the first time. Oh my God. we live across the we lived across the hall from each other, and our mom were friends that made it easy for us to get close when they went out. See what I'm talking about?
But like you said, Tony,
Yeah,
that shit don't count.
yeah, I
Yo,
guess it depends. I guess it
yo,
depends on if he got it in or not. If he got it in, it count. We don't like to say it counted. Look, we don't like to say it counted, but if he got it in, yeah. So that's all we saying, man. It's don't take being able to have these conversations with your children and be able to talk and share maybe things that happen in your past with your children. Don't take those things for granted. These are things that we have to do. Uh, and some of them, again, can be very tough conversations. They can be real hard conversations, depending on what happened to you, how things played out. Those can be really tough conversations to have. But I think if you're vulnerable enough to share that with your children at that time, just like this, when LaBelle shared the story about the man that was killed his mother, drunk drive, and killed his mother, and later on he had the conversation with his children, and his children felt bad because I think he said he was having an issue with one of his sons drinking and driving and stuff.
mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
he ended up telling him what happened, and then they felt really bad. You know what I'm saying? But if they if he had that conversation when they were younger, they probably never even would have been in that situation where he had to talk to him at that point about it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Paulette says, when talking about sex, encourage them to wear protection, not just to stop getting someone pregnant. It's also protecting them from the big diseases with the little bitty names. Exactly, Paulette. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Rodney says, my second time, I was 11 or 12, and she was 16 in her village in the closet under the stairs. Oh my God.
You're a ratchet.
In the closet under the stairs.
Not your trouble in the closet.
In the closet under the stairs.
Okay.
Oh my God, Rodney is off the chain. But look, y'all, we gotta get ready to get out of here. This dude is behind me cutting these things. I don't want none of this stuff to fall on my head. But make sure we're gonna mention it the rest of the week. There we're on about Thursday coming out and sharing with us Thursday. Make sure you share with us. Make sure you share this broadcast. Make sure you're sharing our fan page.
Can't see the daggone
Yeah, that's
address.
what it is, Carrie. Yep, they're gonna. Well, that's okay. Put it in the group. He gonna put it on the fan page. He
Okay.
gonna put it on the fan page, and on the fan page, share the fan page to our YouTube channel, and that way, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can access our fan YouTube channel both ways. If you can't get onto the Facebook, you still get on the YouTube. And what I like about YouTube is you subscribe, you click on it. It's live, it's taking you there. So thank you guys again for tuning in. So shout out to all of you guys, man, for coming on this page today. We want to continue to come on, share this page. Because again, this is going to be the only page along with our YouTube channel that we're going to be broadcasting for moving forward. Because we want all you guys to be able to interact in one location instead of us on multiple platforms like we have been. So thank you guys again, man. We will see you guys in the morning, bright and early at 8 a.m. Come on, Lavelle, give your closing thoughts and remarks.
Hey y'all, it's my birthday month. We going in next week. Let's go. That's all.
All right, close us out with a prayer, my guy.
Hey man, we thank God for waking us up this morning, giving us a reasonable portion of health and strength. Thank you, God, for just being God and being God all by yourself. Thank you for just keeping us all last week from all hurt, harm, and danger. We actually just continue to keep us again. Thank you for keeping Tony as they was out of the country celebrating and having a good time and vacationing, Lord God. We pray that you bring them back safely back to the United States, Lord God. We ask you to touch everybody that's affiliated with us and that you continue to touch all our efforts. And we ask you to do in your dollar son, Jesus. And we said amen.
Amen. We'll see y'all tomorrow, same bad time. Too many hats. Let's talk about it.
It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast with your host with the most, Tony and Lavelle. Every morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We also have Queen Watkins with Clock, That, He. Tune in with us and have a great time. Let's talk about it right here. 2 Minute Hats podcast.